Good evening, folks. I said I'd pop on tonight, have a chat with you. What a result yesterday. A good weekend for Celtic. I hope you can all hear me okay as well. A very happy Sunday, a very happy, beautiful Sunday as Celtic go 6 points clear of Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. What a performance by Negrin yesterday. What a performance by the team. Yes, we were favourites to go in and beat Livingston at home, but really good second half. Obviously, Brendan rotate the squad as well ahead of this match on Tuesday. And I know a lot of people are going to be asking me in the comments about Tuesday. How am I feeling? How are you feeling about it? You know, it's a massive, massive game, the biggest game of the season financially for Celtic. So I hope everyone is doing good on Facebook and on YouTube as well. If you're on Facebook, please pop over and subscribe as well. It'd be really appreciated. So let's start off. Um, what a performance by Benjamin Egan. Like, he was so good yesterday. That's his third goal in Celtic colours so far. 3 goals in the league so far, and he looked quite effective on the right hand side. He has to start on Tuesday night. Yes, we went with James Forrest last Wednesday, but I think Negrin, he just looks so dynamic. He's good at cutting in the centre as well. The work rate, two decent finishes. Look, yes, Yang took the shot for the first goal and then he capitalised and put it in, but bit of mentality and getting goals in front of your home fans, just that will boost his confidence as well. Even though he did score in Batodri earlier on as well in the previous game, the previous league game. So how are you getting on, Ian? I hope you're doing well. David says, I think we will get 4 players in. We're going to talk about Michel Ange, Balagwisha. We're going to talk about Marcelo Salaci as well. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk of Balagwisha over the last couple of days. Celtic sent a delegation over to Belgium to finalise the deal with Royal Antwerp. He wasn't in the Royal Antwerp squad today against KV Mechelen, which they won 2-1. And there's pictures of him saying he's farewells as well. So I'm just going to get these pictures up. This is from another Celtic page. 1 second now. Well, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's in fine form, considering there has been a lot of negativity. There's been a lot of truth from the fans' perspective over the last couple of days of what's happened, especially Wednesday night. So a big shout out to Celtic Kuro over on X. They have the pictures up of Michel Ange, Balagwisha, saying his farewells to the home supporters against KV Mechelen today. So reportedly the deal is meant to be around 4.5 million for the Belgian winger, 24 years of age as well. So he hasn't been capped for Belgium just yet. He's played on the 3 level for Belgium, but for the senior team he hasn't been capped. We all know the calibre of the Belgian national team, quality side. I'm excited about this lad. The reason why I'm excited about him is because he's not a player of the unknown. He's not from, no disrespect, he's not from the J League where we have to root out and talk to people that are familiar with the J League. This guy's played in the Europa League. He's played in the Champions League as well. Hope it's not too late. Be plenty of time. Look, the window closes next Monday week. A week to get the business done. This is a massive, massive week as a Celtic supporter to get into the Champions League, to get players in, maybe have a discussion with Brendan about his contract, and then the derby as well. I think a lot of Celtic fans are getting ahead of ourselves regards to Sunday. I'm not even thinking about Sunday next week. I want to get through Tuesday. There's no point of taking one eye off the pedal and thinking about Rangers and their collapse and how they're struggling. Yes, today was Comedy Central. St. Mirren were good. St. Mirren had a good few chances against them, but it's about what we do as fans and most of all about the club. It's about Brendan going over with that squad and finally getting a victory on Kazakhstan soil. We've been to Kazakhstan twice. We got beaten twice. We were beaten there in 2013 by Karagandhi. Karagandhi and Astana are not even in the top tier anymore in Kazakhstan football, which is crazy. And we got beaten by Astana as well. So it's going to be hard. I'm going to show you a picture of the stadium, the background on my screen now if I can. Just 1 second. See, can I do this? No, I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll try. So it's a 23-seater stadium, 23,000-seater stadium. That's it behind me. This whole running pitch around it. It's literally right near the Chinese border, so it's a lot of traveling for the team, but it is what it is. We have to go over there and win, and if we qualify from this tie, it's a 40 million banked guarantee before ticket sales, before extra money that comes in from TV coverage for the Champions League either way, we're guaranteed we will be playing Europe. If it's Champions League or the very last resort of Europa League, we'll know on Tuesday night. We'll know about 7:30 on Tuesday night. The game, well, not 7:30, about 7:45. The game kicks off at 5:45 Irish and UK time as well. So, how we all feeling? Be honest. Are you dreading it? Are you confident we're going to go over there? Was it just a hump on Wednesday night where we just weren't good enough at home, especially against a team that's, I'm going to even check the UEFA rankings. I think it's like 400 or something like that in the UEFA rankings. Just madness. Crazy stuff. Just let me know in the comments. Good to see Natalie in. It's good to see Gaddafi in. There's 44 people tuning in. I could brag on all I can, but you can chat. You can ask me the questions as well. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of hundred that go over to Kazakhstan for this game as well. Big game. And look, they're going to be up for it. There's no question about it. I don't know actually how they got on. See, this is the difference between Kairat and ourselves. They're halfway through a season. They've played 20 games so far. And I know that Celtic fans won't buy that excuse, but they were looking fitter. They look like they were organised more. Did he play any games? Let me see. When was the last game they played? They haven't played a game this weekend, so they'll have the rest, which is another disadvantage to us as well. So they'll have that rest over their shoulders. They were beaten in the last home game or last game in the league as well. But look, we've been in this position. We went over to Beersheba. We beat Beersheba. Well, we didn't beat them. We beat them overall on the tie, and we scraped through. And if it comes to a case where it's a 1-0 and we get the job done, we'll move on. There's no point reflecting too much on the performance. Once we get through and our name is in the pot for the Champions League the league phase, that's the most important. So, how's it going? I'm 60% sure we'll get through, to be honest. I'm 60% sure. The 40% is because we're doing a lot of travel. We're playing on a pitch we never played on before. Not a lot of fans, different temperature. Their heads are going to be up. They're after getting the extra rest. And I know you just don't want to hear the excuses, but that's what's swinging the 40% that we won't get through, but we should get through. We have the experienced players there, like the likes of Tierney, McGregor, Carter Vickers, Schmeichel, players that played in the Champions League. I don't know if he's going to go for Kenny up front. Will he go for Yamada? I thought Yamada played pretty well against Livy's. I think his work rate on and off the ball was pretty good. He had a couple of chances as well. He scored early enough in the game, which was disallowed because Ingles was offside. But 200 fans. Look, once we have some sort of fans there, that's the main thing. They'll probably put him behind the goal there or in the corner or something. But yeah, that's a stadium we're playing in. That's their stadium. So let me know you that in the comments. You start line up as well. They looked very organised team. I think it's going to be tough for us, but I hope we can get through to the league phase. And I hope we do. I might do a watch along on Tuesday night if he's that interested of joining and watching. Like obviously, you'd be watching as well. If he's want me to come on and do a watch along, let me know if it's something that you want me to do. I don't mind coming on doing the watch alongs if I have the house free and if it's available for me. Happy days, happy days. It is going to be a killer that we don't have Alistair Johnson and Trusty, but Ida, I'm not really fussed about Ida, to be honest, which is I think we done quite well with Kenny coming on yesterday. That was a lovely delivery by Maeda. I think Ida really needs to put his head down and start working harder. So Ida's not a concern for me. Like not a big loss at the moment. But what does Michael say? Michael says the board better start spending. If they don't, the fans will walk away. You can't walk away from your club. Simple as. I don't buy into this bullshit of the fans walking away, getting frustrated, boycotting games. Look at if you're top of the league, that's your bread and butter. That's where you play most of your games is in the league per season. Why would you walk away from the club you love to make a statement? They don't care. Just remember, the season ticket money is in. The general say ticket money they could take a pinch, but the majority of people would have these games booked and that ticket's sorted already. So I can't see it going back to the Ronnie Doyle days where the top tier is empty. If we're being successful and still winning, fair enough. But if we don't get if we don't get into the Champions League, it will show a strong message to the board that they gambled with it. They did gamble with it, you know. It does. It's just the like that picture. That, like obviously, when I move my noggin, it looks a bit better there. But yeah, obviously they play Batistrava and stuff on it as well. So I don't agree with fans walking away from supporting the team. The team needs us. The team needs the fans. The fans are the 12th man, and you know the Green Brigade obviously put done banners yesterday at their message towards the boards, and not just speaking on behalf of themselves, they're speaking on behalf of a good portion of the Celtic fans. It's just simple as it is. It's penny pinching. It's penny pinching, and I'm not buying into this. Like I understand people are saying, well, we've given our manager 20 million last year to get Ida and Ingles in. Why should we trust them and all this bullshit? Like you gotta trust your manager. If he was appointed to be the manager of Celtic for 3 years, you trust him. You give him more of authority to go after certain players in certain leagues instead of going for the cheap option. Don't get me wrong, Negrin was 600k. Negrin's been class. He was brilliant yesterday, you know. But what's to say that he won't replicate a similar performance like that over in Kazakhstan, you know? So the thing about Negrin is with him playing for his national side as well, that gives him an incentive. Obviously, Sweden will be pushing to try get into the World Cup as well. So there'll be pressure on Negrin to do well at Celtic, to be around the fringes of the Swedish side, even though he was getting called up even when he was at Notcherland anyway. But Stephen says they lost 2-3, not at home the other week. Look, they got beaten in the league anyway. Doesn't like I'm not going to go in and start beating through Kazakhstan Premier League games, but they were, as far as I know, they were beaten the last game they played it. But this is what I'm saying: the advantage of them flying back, having that couple of days of rest, that will benefit them as well. I do, because the fans pay big money to watch the team. We need 4 more players. We need more than 4 more players. We need a right back, a left back, which we're looking at. We're looking at this guy from Argentina. He's Uruguayan left back, Marcelo Sarachi. Let me see, can I just get this on the screen for you? This guy here. Now, this guy, when I looked at him originally, you know, he's 27 years of age. He's a cover for left back for Tierney, right? Look at the clubs he's played for. Right, he's been capped 8 times for Uruguay, right? He's 2 years left in his contract. He's playing for Boca Juniors. Boca Juniors is a massive club. We all know how big River Plate and Boca Juniors is, you know, especially in the Americas. It's just a big. He can play right back as well. Play left wing. He's played for Red Bull in Germany. He's played for Galatasaray. He actually played against Celtic in the two toys back in 2019-20 in the Europa. Who else has he played for? He's played for Levante as well. So he has experience there. If you look on the screen here, like these are all the transfer fees that he's went for, like loan fees and fees around 4.5 million. So 27-year-old, not bad. But the only concern is us with defenders from the Americas, like Diego Laxal. He came to Celtic. He was absolutely brutal. Laxal was brutal. We got him from AC Milan on loan, and he had 2 or 3 decent games for Celtic in that disaster season. Alexandro Berdabé did not work out for him as well. At Celtic, obviously he went to Internacional in Brazil. We sold him for a decent fee, but we got him from Lanús in Argentina. And then you're looking at attacking players for Celtic from Central America, the likes of Lewis Palma. We all know what the situation Lewis Palma is. He's over in Lech Poznan now, playing for them. He's got to score a couple of goals as well, but I don't know. It's a strange move. Like they're saying, a loan move where it could be an obligation to buy as well. So we do need cover left back. I thought Inamura played pretty decent yesterday against Livy, but Brendan has came out and said that he's not the type of player that you would throw in the Champions League. He's not ready for Champions League. That's why he wasn't named in the squad. But he looked pretty steady. Looked like a decent player getting forward as well. But we're talking about the Champions League here, and we need a bit more quality. But regardless, if you bring anyone in, they're not going to be eligible for this toy anyway. So it's about hopefully see what we do next. And Morosky would have been good for us better than Ida. I said it so many times on the channel when we were linked with Morosky originally and Ida around the same time back in that January. I said, why should we go for someone in the English Championship, which is goals, the games ratio wasn't great, where Morosky proved against Celtic that season in the previous games he played against us, where he actually could bang goals in. Now, there's talks of him being linked with a loan move to Rangers. Strange enough, but I would have took him. I would have taken him. I think we should hijack the deal. I think we should cut our losses with Ida. I know it's crazy, but there must be clubs out there that would be interested. There was rumours of Indonesia being interested in them as well. I'm sure there's clubs in Europe that would be interested in Ida. It just hasn't worked out for him. Like, he's still quite young. He's only 24 or so. But there's talks of Bolton are interested again, and Johnny Kenny obviously signed a new deal. Celtic obviously might put the valuation of Kenny up now because he's in a long-term contract till 2029. I can't see Celtic get rid of Kenny, to be honest, unless we bring in another striker too. But the board really have to put the finger on these players and start making phone calls and start getting together. But what annoyed fans was with the whole thing with the Balikwisha. I'll just go into your comment in a second, Jay. With the Balikwisha thing was a delegation went over to talk to Royal Antwerp about getting this guy. People are annoyed at why he's sending delegations over. He's not Lionel Messi. Why he's not Ronaldo? Because in football, it's not easy. As much as Celtic speaks for itself, the history of Celtic, the fan base, the stadium, a former European Cup winner, that alone should sell it. You shouldn't have to go chasing a player if they're not interested over a phone call. What's that saying? Is this player going to be bad news? Balikwisha, if we get him in, is he going to be a prima donna? Is he going to be another Lewis Palma? Thinks he's bigger than the club? Hopefully not. I was a bit disappointed when I read the tweet from Sasha Travaleri last night that obviously a delegation went over. There's personal terms have been agreed. Medical is set to be booked over the next couple of days. More likely, you probably do a medical in London and then up to Glasgow. That's the usual malarkey. But or he might just come straight to Glasgow like Negrin did. Usually the guys that are coming from Asia usually tend to stop off, or the guys from South America tend to stop off in London. Do all the paperwork there. but we'll see. So good to see you, Keith. Looking forward. My nerves are shaking and trembling on Tuesday. I hope for at least 4 or 5 signings. Left back, right back, left wing, right wing, striker. This is my question for you in the audience, the whole 44 people in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Get you our keypads out. Would you accept 2 permanent signings and 3 loanee signings in this window? Just let me know. Just let me know. So 2 permanent signings and 3 loanee signings. Like Ballyquist should be a permanent. Maybe a striker a permanent, and the defence maybe on a loan basis. I don't think we're going to get another centre back. We have that guy Jamal Pussy to still feature. Like obviously he's not up to standard yet as well, which is a bit disappointing. Ida is a defo, a 6-yard player. It's not what we need. See, the problem is with Ida is it's the final product with my times. Like I've said this and I'll say this again, and I don't like repeating myself. I don't want these podcasts feeling like he's on the same and he's doing the same thing. We haven't replaced Kyogo. Fair enough, Kyogo dropped tools around October last year after the Ross County game. Well, I had a feeling that was going to happen. I think a lot of us had a feeling last summer that Kyogo was going to do that because he got a new agent, and it was coming out of strange links with him to go to Man City at the time and all that. It was absolute madness. But it was similar to Gary Hooper as well. I was talking to one of my mates earlier on about this. Gary Hooper in his final season dropped tools at Celtic as well because he didn't get his England Euro call up the following season. Yeah, he scored a few goals in the Champions League. He just kind of went off the grid in the league. He was brutal in the league. He was good in the Champions League that campaign, but brutal in the league. It's replacing and putting quality into the team. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure on Benjamin Negrin to replace Keown, and that's the whole point of it. Benjamin Negrin is his own style of player. I think he's a bit more direct, and I think he's different to Keown. He's more of a workhorse. Like, he likes to get more central. He can play that attacking mid. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. Keown wasn't a central player. He was more of a winger, as we all know. But this is the problem. Some of these players, when they get this year or two at Celtic, it just feels like the mentality dips. They feel like they're either better, too good for the club, or too good for the league, and then they get whispered in their ear, "Oh, we could try and get you to move away from Celtic." But that's what it feels like at times. Is it 7 o'clock? Is it the deadline day? I thought it was 11 o'clock. I'll be in Santa Ponza for it, so I'll try to be the laptop over. It depends. Let us know in the comments what would be the best pub to go to in Santa Ponza. Is it the Dubliner? Is it Jinkies? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure a few of you will give me. Yes, defender. Was it? We let go Achille now. Hart scored 3 goals. Yeah. Well, look, at Hearts to drop points anyway. I don't know what defender you're talking about, but if you had a choice to win on Tuesday night or win on Sunday, what would you choose? Tuesday night, because you can get revenge over Rangers further in the season if you want. There's a lot of there's too much to be sacrificed on Tuesday night, to be honest with you. Yes, Ibrox, it would be nice to go 9 points clear of Rangers, but Celtic as a football club go to win silverware and win a league, and the extra incentive of winning the Scottish League is getting a step closer to European football in a bigger marketing perspective. So Tuesday night all day. Oh, Finlay. Oh yeah, I remember him. He didn't really get a chance at Celtic. He didn't. Did he even play a senior game? Yeah, Stuart Finlay. Remember him. Look, I'll tell you one thing. Motherwell played well against Hearts yesterday. Seen the highlights of that game. And Hearts are going to be a hard team to play against this season, to be honest with you. I'm going to try and knock this gonna try and knock this off this screen because this screen's doing my head in. Just 2 seconds now, folks. See if that's a wee bit better. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Right. Let's see. You all see me mush now. Raymond, how are you getting on? I hope you're doing well. Well, I think a lot of Celtic fans would agree, Kieran. You know, Tuesday night is much bigger. There's so much at stake, and then plus you want to beat a team that's fucking 400 in the rankings as well. Just trying to get into that UEFA rankings. See, can I find them? I think they're like 400 odd in the rankings. Filter by country. Oh, I'll be here all day trying to find this. Let's see, Kazakhstan. Here we are. Do it by country. Amati are 315th in the UEFA rankings. Holy shit. Oh god, that is absolutely brutal. That was brutal. I'd take a draw on Sunday as well. But let that sink in, folks. There you go. They are 315th. Astana is ahead of them in the rankings. I don't know how that is. I thought Astana are not even in that division anymore. Could be wrong. So let that sink in. That pisses me off. But look at that could be a thing of the past on Tuesday night. Once we get there, we just hope we don't go to extra time and penalties. That'd be the worst. That'd be the worst feeling to go through, especially over there. 23,000 seater stadium as well. How's it going, Dave? I hope you're well. Lovely picture there, lovely scenery there as well. Wish I was out in the grass with a can. Win on Tuesday, get more bodies in, and full throttle to bury them on Sunday. Yeah. Well, as I said, Sunday's a light year away at the moment. So Sunday we'll think about Sunday from Wednesday onwards, but we'll get there. Am I right saying we are the lowest ranked team in the draw? I'm not sure. I haven't even checked that out, to be honest with you. It doesn't do you think we will win both games against Kairat and Rangers? Do you think we're going the right direction? The only way we're going to, it's up to the players to go in the right direction. It's up to the manager to push the players to go the right direction. I believe that we do need help to strengthen the team to go in the right direction and actually landslide the league. But right now, if you ask me with that current crop of players, my predictions of this season of winning the league, I would even with Rangers being shy, I would probably say 10 points. I think if we get 4 or 5 players in, even though it is a long season, even though there's a lot of points to be played for, if we get the right players in, we need a defensive midfielder. You know, I know this sounds crazy to you, but I really want a defensive midfielder more than a striker. As much as I think we could play my eight in that striking role, play Kenny there. Callum Osmond's obviously been playing for the B team. Yamada can play there as well. Ida, there's no point talking about Ida. Ida just needs to start. You know, when Ida plays games and starts scoring, I'll change my opinion about Adam Ida. For the time being, I don't really want to talk about him. Just frustration, to be honest. Best way to say it. The keeper and the young lad who signed for Chelsea are out for Tuesday night, apparently. Yeah, well, the keeper obviously picked up an injury. The first choice keeper, the guy that is signing for Chelsea, he got a yellow card. Obviously, he got booked at the end. So number 9, he's one of their key players. So there was a rumor go around saying that they feel the eligible player and something like that. There'd be nothing worse than Celtic qualifying for the Champions League through that kind of scenario. Don't want to go in through a cheating metric of them messing up. So yeah, just 1 second now. If you get through the Champions League, loads. Well, to be honest with you, with the Champions League, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter regards to rankings in the Champions League. You're going to be playing against some decent opposition, top class opposition, you know, and we can get a Real Madrid, we can get a Barcelona's. I don't even want to think about that now, because if I start thinking into that, and then we actually lose on Tuesday night, I'll be fucking raging. I'll be raging. I'll be sitting here raging on Tuesday night, you know. But yeah, so there's no talk of defensive midfielder. There's no talk of strikers at the moment. There's been talk of obviously the winger that we've been looking at from Feyenoord. Been no more talk on that. There was talks of go ahead Eagles winger Jacob Brenham. There was talk about him on Thursday that Celtic are still interested and they're actually pursuing to put the value to meet the valuation for the Danish winger. But I don't know if I've been taking over the last couple of days with these lads over in Belgium for the delegation meeting about Michel Ange Balaguisha. Why would they not take the short journey up to Holland and actually have a chat with Go Ahead Eagles face to face and get this deal over the line? Because we need two wingers, let's be honest. We do, you know. Have the club arrived in Kazakhstan yet? I haven't checked it on flight. Let me see. Let me go on the flight radar and we'll have a look. They left. Didn't he leave about 11 o'clock today, didn't he? Is it around a 7-hour flight or something? Let me check. Let me go on the flight radar and see. What time did they leave today? I can be able to check from Glasgow. I can actually check from Glasgow Airport. Just give me a couple of minutes. Flight radar on YouTube. No, thank you. I'm sure there will be pictures coming out anyway when they arrive. Santa Monitor. And Kieran says, would you be happy if we signed Vardy? Over Edith? Yeah, I've said already. You know, Lubo was signed in his mid-30s and he done a job for Celtic. I think Vardy could still do a job for Celtic. Yes, he's 28 years of age, but you know, he's 200 Premier League goals in his career. You know, he scored double figures last season for Leicester, considering they got relegated. So yeah, I'd gladly take Vardy for a season. I think he'd be good. I think he'd do a job for Celtic. So let's see. You know what? This laptop is taking forever. So you know what I'll do is I'll check it on my phone. I'll let you know while I'm on the live. I'm sure someone's already tried tracking it. Departures. When was this? Early on flights. Private. Let's see. San Jose. What's this one now? Let's see. For a private one. There was one here at 10 o'clock this morning. Was that it? I think that's it. Trabzonspor. Zon. I think that's it. Let me see. Schedule arrival. Did it go? Let me see. Did it make it? It's a flying to Turkey and then Turkey to Kazakhstan. I think that's it. Let me see. Celtic have landed. Well, there's one here. There was one that was going to Turkey. Yeah, that was. You can see on the screen here. That was the Turkey. You can't really see it there because it's the greens. There you go. That was the Turkey, but obviously. How are you, Keith? Hope you're well. And we get our shit together for Tuesday and then push for a big performance on Sunday. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about Sunday. Hopefully we will. I hope so. Hope so. Tuesday we don't get through, man. I'll be a very frustrated man. I'm going to do a watch along on Tuesday. So if anyone's around that looking at me wants to chat on Tuesday on the watch along, please join on Tuesday. Have a look at the channel. My channel's free to subscribe as well. I want to get your thoughts in the comments on your starting lineup for Tuesday as well. I'm going to do you know what? I'm gonna put my starting lineup on the team on this. Hold on. We get the sword. I have so many tabs open, so I'm all over the shop here. 1 second. Talk about be multitask. Don't have a blame braze out to be multitask. Good show, Stephen. Stephen says 10 a.m. A little 10 a.m. Meant to stop at Turkey, 7 p.m. Scottish. Well, look, the lads are on the other side of the bleed, the other side of the continent. Well, in basically Asia now as well. We will do the business on Tuesday. Keep the faith. Did you have the faith on Wednesday? That's the question. Did you have the faith on Wednesday and you were disappointed? Lineup builder, right? Let's see. Let's go with this, right? I'm gonna put me starting lineup on the screen in about 2 minutes when I'm here chatting to you. Ralston, he seemed all right. He obviously came off. Was a Bonner that came on for him the other day. And you know what? Dane Murray had an absolute cracker game against Livy as well. That, well, from him losing the ball towards the end to making up with that tackle was good. And you know, Scales got a lot of criticism before the game started because he was the captain, and he done really well. I thought Scales did. It could have been Casper. So I'm just doing my team now for this on Tuesday, and then I'll show you on the screen. I'm not going to say it out because I hate saying it out. Nearly there. So this app is unreal. There's an app called FOTMob. FOTMOB. Mob. You know what? I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna put him over on the left. So I'll show you my team now. You look over. Look, we have more chances than them. Does Yang start with pace? You shall see now in a second when I show you. Right. Let me see. This is my team for Tuesday. Schmeichel in goal. Ralston right back. Just move Ralston up a little bit. Tierney up a little bit. Get Scales a little bit back there with Vickers. Callum Holden in there. Move a bit Ingles in there. Move Hatate like that. That's the team I'd go for. Yang on the left. Nigran on the right. Maeda in the middle. Maeda right in the middle. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Shane. I'm sorry, Johnny. But I'd go for Maeda in the middle. I think it's too much of a big game to be fucking around, and we don't have a proper established striker just in that role yet. So Maeda has the goals in him. He's played in that role for Japan so many times. So that's who I'd go for. You know, I thought Yang played pretty well against Livy. I thought he looked very direct, worked a lot off the ball, and obviously he had a couple of chances as well. He hit the crossbar as well in the first half of the game. But this is not Livingston. This is a team that's fighting to get into the Champions League in front of their home fans. So the stakes are higher, much higher. But yeah, I recommend this app, FOTMob. It's free to download. I use it for my scores and for statistics about players, transfer history and stuff like that. I used to use what's it called? Transfer Market. But this is a bit better than Transfer Market. It's more user friendly as well. So Stephen says 4-4-1-1. I'm sure Kenny off Maeda pace get in behind. Maybe. So it's not a bad option. Let me see. So just say just say Yang there for a minute, right? Johnny Kenny. So I'll put Kenny in there. And look, Johnny Kenny has European goals in him. He scored against clubs that are ranked around Kairat's kind of ranking. He scored for Shamrock Rovers in the Conference League, but you could play that. You could play them like that as well. But I would like to see Bernardo start. I thought Bernardo played all right against Livy. I thought he grafted quite well, even though I had it down that he was like only a 6.9. Thought he played pretty decent. No, obviously McGregor came on. It was good to see Tierney got a rest as well. But if Trusty is out, and Brendan's basically said that Trusty might need a bit of time on the sidelines. It could be he might need an operation. We shall see. Time will tell. But Johnson's going to be a massive miss on Tuesday night, big time. But that's the team I'm going for. What about Negrin? No, it's not one of them. What's everyone's early predictions? My predictions is 2-1. I think they will. I think if we score first, they will score the equaliser. I think we have enough in the tank to score. But if they get us an extra time, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked, to be honest. Just want to check something here. Just 1 second now. One second. Just curious to know this as well. This is important for Tuesday night. We're going to pull this up for you as well, just to show you something. 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. Good numbers in tonight as well. Appreciate it, folks. So this is the weather for Tuesday. Look at that, folks. Look at that. So we're going to be playing around 24 degrees. Around 9 o'clock their time, nearly 10 o'clock their time, around 24 degrees. Look at that. Oh, it's gonna be a melter, an absolute melter. So tough. That's what I'm saying. The weather will play effect. Hostile environment, them not playing the weekend, them having their heads up. Are we the underdogs? Let me know in the comments. Considering we're playing away and they got the draw, let us know. Bit cooler. It's only a little bit cooler. It's a little bit cooler. Haven't seen much about the backup keeper. Obviously, he played the final few minutes of the game at Celtic Park, but doesn't really matter what their keeper is. You know, their manager will have faith to play who they can play. Look, they're looking to cause a massive upset. Simple as. But time will tell. Hopefully, tomorrow I might do a podcast tomorrow night as well. Might get someone on to have a chat with me about the game tomorrow. That's not going to suit us high. Yeah, so 24 degrees weather. Traveling over. It's all against us. All against the odds, folks. We win over here. I know this is laughable to fans that are not Celtic fans, like fans from other teams that will probably watch and say, "Oh Jesus, they're panicking already." I wouldn't say I'm panicking. I am a little bit nervous about this game. I am a bit nervous. As I said, I'm 60% sure we can qualify. We can get over the line, but it's about turning up, playing to air style, not about not going to their level, going to air level, going up a level, and breaking through and testing that keeper and getting corners and making them count and getting through balls. Look at Liam Scale through a ball to Johnny Kenny yesterday in the game. Unbelievable. Yeah. No high tempo as the Heat will be more like playing. Well, hopefully not too much tippy tappy football as well. Michael says we will win. I hope so, Michael. I hope so. You should be up for it. It's a Champions League playoff. You have to be up for it. You have to be up for more than ever. Because if you don't get through, you're in the Europa League. And look, Europa League would be a good smack as well. I'd love to see the caliber we play in the Europa League. We'd probably fancy our chances playing some better teams in the Europa League. But it's all about the money. It's all about the big nights at Paradise. It's all about the opposition you play in the Champions League as well. But it's down to how ambitious you are. Like Brendan said it. You go back over that post-match interview after Bayern Munich in the Allianz. He said you just need to twerk the team a little bit, one or two players in in the summer and we'll be stronger. With Keane going, is it 3 or 4 players? You know, Kyogo obviously went before the Allianz game. He went to Rennes. Jota is out as well. Like, boy, we're missing Jota for a good chunk of our European games, regardless if it's Europa or Champions League. We're going to be missing Alistair Johnson till the end of November, start of December. Like, that's a massive. They're two massive hits. Two massive hits. You know, player bonus. They'll be right up for it, 100%. Doesn't it not kick off yet? So is it like 4 hours ahead or something like that? Their time. I bet Brendan will get a big pay packet if we get through. Well, that's a good question. That is a really good question. I would say 70% of is the board's fault because we haven't invested in the squad and strengthened that position. But the players have to take it on the chin as well. Like, that team could go out and smash that team. Celtic could go out and smash this team on Tuesday night, and Wednesday could be all forgotten about. But the board is a big fault to it as well. But the players have to take a bit of slack as well, and the manager has to take slack. As much as Brendan's been a massive part of a success of trebles, invincible team, playing well last season, the Champions League. Before that, Brendan Rodgers' record in European football with Celtic was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. We got smashed by PSG, and then season before we got hammered as well. But fair enough, we beat Feyenoord and stuff like that. But still, he needs a back. And I understand some fans that are watching this say, why would you back a manager that's, if you're going to bring a player in for say 8 or 9 million, that manager will be gone at the end of that season, and the new manager comes in, might not favour that player, and then might be down money if that player dips form and doesn't perform as well. You have to take risks. You have to take bold risks to get rewarded. For as 40 million quid is on the line here, just in this qualification round, and then the rest will come to us. If Rangers don't get in as well, I think we get their pot money as well, the TV pot money. So always be on them over in Bruges as well. Like, they're not completely out of toy. I know I want to talk with Rangers as much, but they have a goal to salvage as well from that game. And look, at Bruges have a good business model. Bruges are a good team. Bruges reminds me of Copenhagen. They do always be in the competitive side of, if it's Champions League or Europa League, they're always there fighting about. And they do have money beside them as well. Players training tomorrow, so they'll be used to the heat. Hope so. Climatise is the big thing, massive thing. And then hopefully Brendan will obviously give his press conference tomorrow night, and he'll talk about who's available. Did anyone pick up Knox over the weekend as well? Well, big time. So there's 30 people tuning in, 22 on Insta, 22 not on Instagram, 22 on YouTube. Please subscribe. Just want to give a massive thanks to everyone as well that has helped us get to the 75,000 followers on Facebook. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. If you could ask your pals to come on and share this video to your mates and see, could you subscribe to the YouTube channel? I think I'm like 4 away from 19,000. Let's see now. It's 4 away from 19,000. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, they have a good business model. Yeah, I'm two away from 19,000 folks. We really appreciate it. Mark, it's good to see you in. If the board take no chances, we will have no chance in the Champions League. Exactly. It's like we can all go on like saying, right, let's get into the Champions League. Let's get through the job on Tuesday night. and they don't invest in it, and we get absolutely hockeyed. FIFA scores in the game in games. You don't want that. If it's going to be in that case, I'd rather be in the Europa League. To be honest, I'd rather be in the Europa League where we can actually have a chance of beating teams. But Celtic, as a club, are a Champions League team, but our squad are not a Champions League squad. I've said this so many times. We're not replacing Kyogo, not replacing Kuhn, not replacing O'Reilly over the last 12 months. When you look at that picture of the Kairat game, the opening game of last season, and you see the three lads, and you're like, these guys, the total of these guys went was nearly over 50 million between the three of them. You know, Bodo Glint, great model. They're winning 4-0 anyway in their they beat Strum Graz 4-0, I think, in their playoff. How's things, mate? Not too bad. I hope you're doing good. Anthony Green, hope you're doing fantastic. How are you feeling about the game as well? Yeah, Bodo Glint smashed us in the Conference League, if you can remember that. Let me see. Just 2 seconds here. Right, so what I'll do is I'm going to head off. It's been a good chat with you tonight. Just remember, we're top of the league. Let's not think about Sunday right now. I'll come on and do a watch along on Tuesday night for the game. I will be live at, let me see, the game kicks off at 6:15, isn't it? 6:15 UK and Irish time. So let me see. I will be live around 5:15 on Tuesday. I'll be live at 5:15. The team will be well out by then. I'll be having a chat with you. Please remember, put a little note in the calendar. Oh, Keith's going to be on for the watch along. I'll be watching the game on my phone. I'll be doing this on live, and we'll go through the roller coasters as well. So yeah. A part of me is thinking there could be extra time. We don't know. Anything can happen on Tuesday, but that's the team I'm going for. Just to recap for Tuesday. I might change my mind overnight as well. So that's my team I'm going for. I know. Originally I went for Yang on the left, but we'll go for this. We could bring Yang on as into the second half. Start with this team, and then you can bring Yamada on the second half as well. The legs are going to be tired. It's going to be a hard one. 24 degrees heat over in Kazakhstan. Yes, the pitch is a bit further away from the stands. There's a running track around it, but look, they want to be I think it's the first Kazakhstan team to get into the Champions League. I think this is the furthest the Kazakhstan team has been. It's the playoffs. Obviously, they got beaten by Celtic in Astana. Got beaten by Celtic in 2018 or 2017, and then Karagandhi in 2013. We need to learn from our mistakes of how we failed over in Kazakhstan. I think by going over there, I don't know if it's just being down to us not playing well, not climatizing to them 2 matches over there. We leaked 4 goals or something like that as well against Astana. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't looked back on that Astana game. I haven't looked back at the Karagandhi away game as well. I've only looked back at the home games. But it's a strong team. But the funny thing is, Edward, right? I put this team now up on the social site, and people have been going, oh, you can't play that. Are you on glue, or you this and that? You can't keep everyone happy, you really can't. But I'm going to leave it there, folks. It was good chatting to you. I'll be back on tomorrow night for just a quick preview for about half an hour, and then watch along on Tuesday night. So 5:15 Tuesday. Get your laptop out, get your phone on, get the game on the telly, get your popcorn in, get your cigars, get your house coat on, get your shorts, get your Bumblebee jersey, get whatever you want. I hope he's enjoyed it. You enjoyed the watch along. Maybe get a few brewskis for it. You never know. But yeah, we'll see. So appreciate you supporting. All the best, folks. Leave it there. Remember, Russell Martin must stay. Just before I'm gonna leave, I'm just at the seeing a big huge flashing light there in the sky. I think that was a Graham Morty light. Was it Graham Morty? Is that one of them Batman lights, is it? I think it is. Graham Morty light already out. Jesus Christ. They're really desperate, aren't they? They're really desperate. Agent Russell has to stay. But obviously the zombies are getting a hold to the top of Ibrox and putting that light up already for Graham Morty to return. Ah well, shit joke. hope he's gonna enjoy anyway. So good speaking is all. Hell. I'll leave you with this one. The old one.
Don't you think that they need the Champions League's money here? I think so. I think they need that. I think that's a good answer, isn't it?
Where is that video? Where is that video I love?
I'll tell you one thing, proud of my Rangers, but the only thing that annoys me about the whole game, if I look at the whole game in a whole, is Rangers didn't start off well, Simon. The first minute we had a wee chance, we Kent cut it back, and then we died. But I'll tell you one thing, Simon, I seen one thing in that game that really made me proud of my Rangers, and I love my Rangers.
That's what we like. We like a hard man.
Yeah.
And I remember guys like Terry Hurlock.
My pal.
Ian Ferguson.
Exactly, we've no got it.
We don't.
Oh God.
Yeah! Can you see it? Yeah!
Right, and just one more thing before I go. The most important thing that we all love is this. We'll get this up on the screen just to give a little smile, even though we all know what the crack is. Anthony Green, your comment has to go for a minute. You're killing the show. You're killing the show. Ernest, you're killing the show. Just 1 second now. 1 second. Ah, where am I going? I'm all over the shop. So let's see. There we are. Look at that. After match day 3, Celtic are 3 out of 3 victories. 9 points, six goals. No goals conceded so far. Life is good up on the top. And you know what? There's 35 games to go. But our next game in the league will be against a team that's in the bottom half of the table. A team that could be tipped for relegation. A team that's drawn their first 3 games. Imagine putting a tenner on Rangers to be relegated this season. Would it be? Do you think I should have the balls to do it? Should I have the balls to put a tenner on Rangers to be relegated? Let us know in the comments. Even a sneaky fiver on that. Imagine Rangers to be relegated this season with the mess they're in. I've seen stranger things in football. You have went down before, down to the corruptions of not paying Hector the taxman, you know, not paying the face painter. So imagine putting a fiver on it. Looking at that table, folks. I know it's only early and all that malarkey. And Chris Boyd is obviously going through a difficult time. If anyone knows Chris Boyd, just tell him I'm always here for a chat. I know he's gone through a difficult time over a couple of years with his team. He's gonna have to look at supporting a new team in that league. I don't know. Maybe he seems like Hearts are the 3rd biggest team in the country, which is a load of absolute shite. Hearts are a big team, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Who is the 3rd biggest team in Scotland? I would say Aberdeen. I think Aberdeen are the 3rd biggest team in Scotland. Some people might say Hibs, but I think Aberdeen. It's not Hearts. It's definitely not Hearts. Not a chance. You know? Well, you know what? The 2nd biggest team in Scotland is Aberdeen. Because this club, so-called Rangers, they haven't actually won enough. They haven't won enough titles to be labelled the 2nd biggest team in Scotland. Let's be honest. It's all about honours, and it's all about, you know, they've inherited a shitty stadium from a previous club called Rangers. But, you know, the 2nd biggest team in Scotland is Aberdeen. Aberdeen, and then Hibs is the 3rd biggest. So that team, Sefco, or whatever they're called, maybe they're about 5th or 6th biggest team in Scotland. You know what? They're the table's right. They're seventh. You know, you maybe are the seventh biggest team in Scotland. You know, we'll go with that, will we? We'll definitely go with that because I'm sure I haven't watched. I haven't watched the podcast tonight of them having meltdowns and calling for his head, but it's the same shite with them. It's the same crap where you know they bring these guys in and they get behind them, and then a couple of defeats down the line, they're starting to cry, they're starting to go on, and they're starting to throw the toys in the pram, out of the pram, and you can't take the slack and stuff like that. You know, we see we seen it with Beale, we seen it with Gio, we seen it with Pedro, we seen it with Warburton. You know, we've seen it with them all. It's a club that will never ever get to the level of that previous club, ever be at that level of, you know, having them trophies and stuff. They won one league title because Celtic had no fans in the stadium. Celtic were shy. Simple as Celtic were shy that season, you know. I know, I do watch Ronnie's stuff. Ronnie's a good lad. You know, Ronnie puts up some fantastic content, and give a big shout out to Ronnie. It's brilliant. I just wouldn't have the balls to pull apart the stuff that Ronnie puts up because it'd be done for copyright. That's the reason. That's the reason. Max says Rangers won't get relegated, but top six is a big ask. What about Rangers to be in the relegation playoff? I know I might be on the glue, but I've seen strange things in football. But they have really, really fallen this season so far, and you know what? Russell Martin said he's looking forward to next Sunday's game. But this is the problem. Like, as much as people have been asking me about next Sunday, it could be two scenarios here, right? It could be three scenarios, actually. It could be just a boring 0-0 draw because the both teams are playing away from home in Europe, and the both teams could be tired, regardless changes in personnel, right? Could be that scenario. The second scenario could be so much pressure on Martin, which to get knocked out of Europe against Bruges, and then dropping points in the opening three games, that he'll actually have the team pumped up for the big game at Ibrox. And unfortunately, imagine they did actually beat us, which I hope does not happen. And then the other scenario is we go there and fucking absolutely hockey them, absolutely blow them out of the water, 4 or 5-0, and enjoy it. It could be that. It could be that. Conference League next season if they miss out. Imagine. So we'll see what happens. But I will be back tomorrow just for a quick podcast. We'll see what Brendan says on the press conference tomorrow. We'll see what the injury news is, if there's any injuries. We'll see if there's any update on Balak Wishe or Marcelo Sarachi from Broca Juniors, or if it's Jacob Brennan, or if it's Jamie Vardy. I will be back anyway. And I really appreciate it is all tuning into the channel tonight. As I said, just to remind you, just to get this into the noggin, folks, I will be doing a watch along on Tuesday. 5:15, I will be live on YouTube and Facebook. I prefer if people can jump over to YouTube because it's where it's at, folks. It's where it's at. So I appreciate you all tuning in. I better go. And I'll speak to you all soon. Hail, hail. Good night. Take care.